So if I could show them a picture, that'd be even better. So that's what my goal was, to show them a picture, show them a drawing of what we're going to do with the house, and then do the design of the landscaping in it. So I had to teach myself perspective. Well, I learned in the early 90s, not much internet then, so I had to go to the library and learn books on perspective, or buy a book on perspective, or learn everything I could on how to do perspective. And that was the difference, okay? The perspective is all the difference. How you look at things, where you look at things, that's everything. So here on this, you have a vanishing point where all the parallel lines meet. The perspective is the point. So let's show you what perspective is all about. I'm going to show you the basics of it, and then from there we're actually going to start drawing. Then we're going to go to this is a 1-point perspective first, then we're going to go to a 2-point perspective, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to design inside of a 1 or 2-point perspective. I'm going to show you the difference. What is 2-point, what is 1-point, all of those things. I want to show you those things so you understand what they are, okay? So everybody knows that. And how many of you can't draw a stick man? Okay, so good. We're going to do more than a stick man today. We're going to do a lot of things. How many can draw a little bit? Okay, we got a little talent. Okay. How many have done perspective drawing before? Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so again, you guys should have no problem with this here. So let's start off with at the top of the point. I want you to at the which we call the vantage point, and I'll turn it over here to this. The vantage point, vanishing point, and the horizon line. The horizon line is that last line at the top there that you guys just drew. That's where everything is. You can see things. That is your vantage point, and that is where the point goes, your vanishing point. I want you to put that in the middle of the page of vanishing point right there, okay? So here we go. This is our perspective point right here. What do we call it?
Vanishing point.
All right, good job. Vanishing point. So the vanishing point there, I want to draw some squares that are just up inside of it. So we're going to do it to the left-hand side. We're going to draw a square or a box. Okay? Okay? No, go ahead, try it.
Big ones?
Kind of proportionate to that right there. Okay? Okay.
Wait, what I missed?
You use your triangle to do it like this, like that, to make sure that these are going to be vertical. And same with here. Lay it to the side so that these are vertical. Okay? All right? Got me. So that's what you're trying to diminishing. What I mean by convergence of lines, the lines converge together. They're both going together away from you. Converging, they're coming together. If they're parallel, that means they're not. They're straight. So what lines are parallel? These lines are parallel to each other. These lines are parallel to each other. These ones are what?
Converging.
They're converging. This one here? Converging. Everything's converging towards that whole thing, okay? So we're going to converge all the lines towards that back part, okay? That's what you're doing. So that's what the perspective line is. Now I want you to draw a door inside of those convergent lines, okay? Okay. Now these here are not really, they're squared up, they're going to be parallel. Kind of crooked there because I drew them without a ruler. But these are all parallel. These are parallel to the sides. These are parallel to these right here. Is this parallel? No. No, it converges. Bottom converges to the top. That's how you draw it. So let me see how you did your doors. Get this. Before, but now instead of the point in the middle, I'm going to have 2 points here. 1 point here and and 1 point down. What we're gonna do is change it to a 2-point perspective. And how we do that is it's almost like having a box. You can see the box straight on, then it's a 1-point perspective. If I look to the back of this room, all these lines converge that way. If you're from back there looking this way, these lines are converging this way. So, 1-point perspective. Now, if I happen to go to this side now, I changed it up now, because these lines are going that way, but the back of those lines are going that way. They start to converge, because they're going away from me that way, and these are going away from me that way. The same way that a box would do if you had a box like this, you had it straight on, the points are all going 1 point converging. If I go like that, then they converge this way and converge the other way, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish it up. And put the line right here. Okay, I see the line there. And you look at the proportion of the page, that's kind of the size it's gonna be, okay? And there's a reason for it. I'm gonna try to draw a building. When you're drawing, you wanna make sure that you can actually kind of draw out your building and then kind of throw your perspective into it and switch up your lines. But right now, I'm gonna draw the line. I kind of know where I'm gonna go, so I'm gonna draw a line from the top of it, diminishing to one side, and one side diminishing to the other side, okay? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop the building about right here. Okay. Here, I kind of stopped the line, but I drew my perspective lines from here that way and that one going that way. Okay? So what I did in order to inset this thing is I drew another line, here's a line, drew another line inside, and I drew the perspective point of that going all the way back over there. Okay? You can see what I mean? So if I want to make that thing look like it's deeper inside there, I can take my perspective line right here and take it all the way in. See here? See the door right there? So I can make that go directly in, and all I do is make a line going in like this to here, and then another line out to here. Okay, and then I can erase that line right there. Now it looks like I'm going inside the door. See that? You asked me about that? So that gives that effect there. Okay, let me see where we're at. Okay, so you draw your line first. There's your line. So, the line for your building. These here, let's go over kind of the difference between a 2-point perspective and a 1-point perspective. Absolutely right. This converges that way, and this is converging that way. So we have a 2-point perspective. How about this one here? It's a 1 point. Everything's converging, going straight into 1 point. It's not converging. So right here, 1 or 2? 2. It's 2 point, because this is converging that way, and that's converging that way, and your line's in front of you.
How do you see that?
Okay?
It's just the way you're looking at the picture itself.
Yeah, it's
like if you're looking at something.
look at the bridge. See the bridge? Convergent, convergent. It's 2 point, going both ways.
It's like you're standing.
We'll show you a little closer. 1 or 2 point? Simple, quick sketch.
2.
2 point. How can you tell? Because right here, this shows you that's converging that way, converging, you're seeing both sides of the little pillar there. 1 or 2? You're right, it is a 2. Most people think it's a 1 because you're going all in, but actually this is converging that way and this line's converging in, just like an inverted conversion. And you guys, I'm losing you right there, but I'm going to catch you back up here. But for most part, yeah, this is converging that way away from you, but yet this is going to converge that way, even though it's going in, okay? So the next one, the boulders too. 1 or 2? This is a 2 point, because remember your lines here, and there's lines that way. But I'm really not going to draw it. When I draw rocks, they all have 15 million points. So you can just draw things, but you kind of want to keep your bases like your pool and stuff like that. We're going to go, when we do waterfalls, I'll show you how to draw waterfalls. We're going to show you how to keep it level, how to keep it, and then the rocks and everything, that's going to be different. That's more of a free form. So here, 1 or 2 point perspective. Okay, I'll tell you what. So who here can show me if it's a 1 or a 2 point perspective? So you can get up and show me. If it's a 2 point, show me the 2 points. If it's a 1, show me the 1 point. We'll start over here. Go ahead.
Easiest way is if you look right here, the shadow's going in.
So where's the points?
Points
Or where's the point?
points in the center. These are going down.
Okay, tell me where.
Where the windows are.
Should be down here.
No, the 2 windows.
No, it's the right center of the page.
No, that's a shadow. So, that's all right, that's all right, good try, good try. You don't learn by, you don't try, go ahead.
The way I see it is the staircase. I'm looking at the
Yep.
staircase kind of coming towards center tile.
All right, well, get up and point it out, if you guys know where it's at.
Mike.
Point the 2 points or point this one?
One bunch right here, and it's going off the roof.
No.
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 I know.
Good try, good try. Michael, you wanna try?
No, I don't know.
I'll try.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I think I got it.
We're all like kids.
Go ahead.
All right?
No. No.
No. And this is what you gotta look at, okay? Where is your vantage point?
It's from the ground.
No.
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 Where's the vantage point on this thing?
I'm gonna try. This it right here?
The vantage
No.
point is it's like you're standing on the slide.
I was close.
Okay, here's the clue. Can you see the bottom step?
Yes, that's what I was
Can you
following.
see the bottom step? Can you see the next step?
Yes,
Can you see the step after that?
yeah.
Can you see the top of the deck?
No.
Oh, so your vantage point's right there. So if your vantage point's right there and it's a 1 point perspective, where's your point?
The deck's a horizon of the day.
Come up, yeah, he had it first, but go ahead and point it up, Michael.
The bottom of the line is
So it's
there.
right here.
Correct.
So I was close.
That's exactly what it was. Very good, very good. So that's where it is. And the reason being, you can tell immediately, is that you can't see the top of the step. If you can't see the top of the step, that means you're not above it. So you're not, you're here.
But what?
Once you see above it, then everything changes.
But if I'm looking at that, it's like, I'm looking at a house and I can't see the top of that step, wouldn't I be out like on the sidewalk?
Well, it's okay. You could be in the next quadrant. It don't matter where you're at.
But that's
It's
just-
still gonna remain the same. You're still at that level. So here's the difference. If you happen to come up and see the top of it, then these things change. See how these arrows, these step arrows change exactly and tell you exactly where it is. See that right there? All right, so we're gonna go to more here. We're gonna go down that. 1 or 2.
Two.
My favorite way to draw a drawing is this.
Two.
That's it, that's it.
Well, if lines are parallel, then this is parallel to that. These are all parallel.
It's a 1.
It's a 1 point, it goes straight up to the top. These are convergent lines. So this right here, 1 or 2. Convergent lines, 2. 1 point, okay? 1 or 2. These converge that way, and this converges that way away from this. This is 1 2 point perspective, off the page on the left. 1 or 2.
3.
These are parallel, and these are all. Are they converging?
Yes.
Where are they converging? 1 point perspective. Okay, 1 or 2. Yeah, somebody has all kinds of points in it, but really, I look into like a kind of a 2 point perspective. I can look at the top of the building here, it's converging that way, and where else?
Oh, there you go.
See the converging. Okay. Now here's an easy way to do it. This is a job in Texas we had done. We actually did this for training. So 1 or 2 point perspective on this here.
1, 2.
So 1 point. See how this is pointing towards one big point up at the top here? 1 point. Now then you say, well, what does a 2 point perspective look on the same drawing? This is 2 point on the same drawing.
Flip back. Can you flip back to the 1 point?
That's so.
Okay. That makes
2 point, 1 point.
Okay.
Two.
So the 2 point is like
2 point. So the 2 point means this is going away from you and this is going away from you now. Okay? Got me?
Yes.
Can you go back to the 1 point? Okay, yeah, that's good.
So 1 point is basically standing right in front of you.
Everything's going one way.
Well, you notice how
So
the house is
going to
flat.
1 point. Look at the right side.
It's kind of like standing right next to that in front of you. I don't know what it is here, it's like in front of you.
Yeah, but you still, stay in front of it.
That's a 1 point. It's going in. Same drawing, 2 point.
Yeah. It's got
Okay.
stuff on it.
1 or 2 point.
2.
That's right, 2 point. 1 or 2.
2.
Okay, 1 or 2. Are we videoing this?
2.
This is a 2 point. Why is this a 2 point? Because you have these lines going that way and these lines going that way.
Right.
Okay? 1 or 2?
2.
1 or 2?
1.
Yeah.
Still 2.
I mean, if you're looking at that wall.
1 or 2. That's a 2 point
That's
perspective.
the house is
2 point perspective. Okay. Is that a 1 or 2?
1.
2 points. This is going that way and that's going this way. Okay. Okay, now this one I'll give you, I'll tell you, I'll give you $20 on the next one. 1 or 2 point perspective. So I like drawing castles, so I drew the castle.
That's 2.
That's
1.
That's 1. 2. 1 point.
1.
Anybody want to tell me?
1 point.
A 1 or 2 point perspective.
2.
2 point. Now these don't exist, these are just out of my head, castles that just.
That's a 2.
That's a 2.
That's a 2 point perspective, is correct. And so 2 point, 2 point, 2 point. Isn't that nice? Now this, I did this for a landscaper, and he sold this job, and he sold it because I drew it, but if you look at, there's pavers, there's not StoneMaker stuff. Just to show you that the drawings, even in regular paper, something like that, makes a big difference. You can actually, because the people's got 3 estimates, but they saw this, and they're like, I want this.